Hey, it's the Pool Fanatic. Yeah, and this is Pool Fanatic Tony Caruso. TC Water features the Pool Fanatic Pool Service Company, and we are looking at steam coming off the pool. And if you listened last week, you'll understand that that means a little bit of water loss. But if you have a question about your swimming pool, your spa, renovating a pool, having a new pool built, or whatever you've got on your mind, go ahead, give us a call, 844-220-0965, 844-220-0965, or you could text us at 21232. Here is the Pool Fanatic himself. It's Tony.
Rob, how are you today?
I am doing good.
You're sitting in this nice, comfy, cozy, toasty, what are we going to call this room? We're going to call this our broadcasting room?
It's our old studio.
Our old studio. Well, Rob, it's been quite blustery out today.
Yes.
I strolled out this morning about 6 o'clock like I normally do and go out and sit in my outdoor living area. I fired up my nice little heater, turned the TV on, watched a little TV, and that lasted about 20 minutes.
That was it, huh?
Too much breeze. I mean, we were 15, 20, 25 mile-an-hour breeze this morning. You know, it was 40. It was only 46 degrees this morning, but I think that's our high today, even though they said middle 50s. I pulled in today, it was 49 degrees still, and the sun's out. So
we're talking wind chill today.
We're talking wind chills all day. They said wind chills today was going to be in the 30s. I'm not sure how that worked out at 30 mile-an-hour wind breezes, but, you know, we're not up north. We are down south, but we need to talk about freeze protection tonight. What are you going to do in the northern counties for freeze protection? And I'm going to give you some good advice, and please listen to me very carefully, because if you don't follow this advice and it does freeze tonight and your pool equipment comes on tomorrow, you're going to break some lines. So this is not the first time it's ever froze in Florida, but if you're a new pool owner and you do not have Hayward equipment, which has built-in freeze protection.
See?
So if you've got a good, if it was installed correctly and programmed correctly, all of your pool equipment, designated equipment, would be under freeze protection. So since we don't play Mother Nature, we don't know what's going on, how do I protect my pool equipment from bursting if it freezes tonight? All right. This is the number one easiest way to resolve your pool pump water lines freezing, thawing, and bursting tomorrow during the day. Ouch. If your pump starts up early in the morning. Number one, go outside, just turn the breaker off to your pump and unscrew the lid on the top of your pump and turn it upside down. That way, if your pump does come on for some reason because your breaker doesn't hold, then you won't be worried about frozen water going through the system and bursting the pipe. Now, what will happen is that water will freeze. It'll get really, really hot inside the impeller. As it's trying to produce water, it'll overheat, melt, and break the line. So that's option number one. Option number two is to turn the pump on tonight and don't turn it off until it shuts off for tomorrow night. Now, and that's the easiest way to overcome the fact that if it freezes, you're not going to do any equipment damage. Now, your pool is not going to grow any kind of algae. It's not going to get cloudy. You're not going to lose a lot of sanitation tonight if you don't run it for a day. That water is cold enough. And if your water happens to get down into the lower 50s, your salt system's not going to work anyway. So if you have Aqualogic, ProLogic, or OmniLogic, and your installer programmed your system, they should freeze protect your pool pump. Now, mine is set for 34 degrees. Why am I set 2 degrees above the freezing level? The reason is because you're using a inline temperature thermometer that's in your line. If you've got a salt system, it's got a temperature reader in it. And I just set it for 34 degrees. So when it gets to 34 degrees, the pump's going to start up, and it's going to run for its duration of its run cycle. So remember, either turn the breaker off, unscrew the lid on the front of the basket, flip it upside down. That way the pump cannot try to prime. If it inadvertently starts, it won't hurt the system. And if you've got good quality Hayward equipment, almost all of it's run dry equipment. You can run the pump and it won't run it dry, and it won't hurt the adapters, and it won't hurt the seal and the seal plate. So that is my recommendation for freezing tonight. If it happens tomorrow night, do the same thing. Yes, sir.
Question. What about people that have solar for their pool and you got the pipes up on the roof? Do those have water in them still?
Well, you know what?
If
If installed correctly, my good friends over at Universal Solar install bird's mouths, and what a bird's mouth does when the system shuts off during the day or later in the day, it shuts the system off and then drains the system.
Cool.
All right. Now, if you don't have a bird's mouth or vacuum breaker in your system could most likely lock the water up in the system. The pump's going to come on, it's going to freeze and burst the lines, and then you've got a potential icicles coming down your roof if it freezes again, or you can actually drain your pool. So you want to make sure that you had that solar tune-up and make sure you're in good shape right there. Now, Rob, I experienced something very interesting last week. I've had a few people call me and inquire about it, but I have a question for you. I told Larry I'd wait a second before he got in his truck so we can hear this. Have you ever heard of what's called a floatorium?
Well, I know somebody mentioned this to me last week, and it was you.
That was me.
And I had to think a while about it, but you did explain it to me. Yeah, I kind of remember now what it is.
Okay, so what it
very cool.
What it basically is there's a lot of different ways to relax the body.
Right.
You know, Dr. Klein talks about consistently is taking that few minutes of Zen time to let your body relax, let all of the tensions and stress go out of your body. Brings your heart rate down, makes you feel kind of cleansing. So could you imagine a hot tub or a spa or a hot bath or a body massage? All those are great for you. Heat's a wonderful thing for the body. But a floatorium is basically imagine an overgrown fiberglass tub, only holds about 10 inches of water in it. Set the temperature for 98.6 degrees. It has roughly, so 10 inches of water, I would say this thing probably holds 200 gallons of water. And when you lay in it, you float. I don't care if you can't float, this will make you float. Roughly about 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts in the body of water, you automatically float. So for me, the guy that can't float, this is perfect. So I said, my son has done it a few times. He finally got us involved in it. And I went down and we did it last weekend. It's 1 hour. Nothing is going to interfere. You have to be able to allow your body to relax. So you're going into that Zen mode where you're trying to let everything out of your body drain out so you can go, basically you can cross your arms on your chest or you can put your hands behind your head. You can put your arms out. You just float, relax. Now you can close the cap on it. If you're claustrophobic, there's plenty of room. You can put your arm up and not touch the cap, or I call it a module cockpit. It's got LED lights in it. So if you want to keep your eyes open, but I don't I don't recommend that. I close my eyes the whole time. I did close the lid. And for 1 hour, let's call it about 40 minutes, because it takes a little bit to get comfortable.
Well, I would think.
Because I'm so wound up as it is. I got to be able to relax. But after 1 hour of being in there, I was basically, my body was flushed. I felt wonderful.
Wow.
I really did. Aches and pains, pretty much. Didn't really have any to go before I went in there, but I didn't have any when I got out, that's for sure. But what I did was I felt extremely relaxed. So before I did this, we did a lot of research on this. We've called a couple of the worldwide distributors. We've talked to some of the owners of places that have these. We've talked to the people that actually sell them. So it's something that I'm going to seriously investigate, because if you want to sit in your spa, perfect. You're vertically sitting up. You got your massage jets doing everything they're doing. But if you just want to lay in a tub and kind of like just let it go, this was an awesome experience.
And Epsom salts are good for you, aren't they? I mean, that's very good.
Yeah, but the concentration is so high that you do want to wear earplugs. You don't want that high concentration of salt in your ear canals. And if you got cuts, just a little dab of some Vaseline-type material, petroleum-based jelly to cover the cut, because it will burn you. Well, think about what the healing powers of the ocean do.
Yeah.
Okay? So think about what the healing powers do of the salt system you have in your swimming pool. It's the same thing. Lower concentrations. You basically have 3,400 parts per million in your pool for salt. Good's a conditioner. You have 35,000 parts per million of salt in the ocean. This was about 50,000 parts.
Oh.
So which allows you to be buoyant. So what was really cool about that is the experience. I highly recommend it. There's a place right here in town. Just search a Floatorium. And you'll find the place over here. And if you do that, go on their website, look at their first time special, and you really want to take advantage of that first time special to give you a really nice discount for the first time through, and see if you like it. So we're gonna investigate these. I've already had one investigation. The customers actually called me about it because they have a person that is very physically challenged. And it's been recommended that they have the ability to go to a body of water that allow their body to relax. But it also plays music, too. So you really want to kind of play that real soothing, very low-tone music so you can relax. So for the people that can't relax, this is a good way to try to start. 407-282-4911. Please visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. That's pro.com. Like us on Facebook. Got a lot of games again, Rob. We got awesome, a lot of cool stuff going out there. That's TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard.
And they certainly do. Give us a call. You got a question about the Floatorium, you have a question about a swimming pool, a spa, any kind of fountains in your backyard. I know it's cold and you're thinking, what am I thinking about pools today? Because this is what we're probably going to have 5, 6, 7 days of cold weather. That's not bad. 844-220-0965, but you could get that pool started right now. 844-220-0965 or text Tony at 21232. That's 21232. We will be back. Well, I tell you what, this is, we talk about pools, but we also talk about life on this show. And this has been one bad week for those of us that love music in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. There's a little Hotel California right there.
So that's my friend Chris over here running the keyboard. Asked him to do a little special request because I grew up on the Eagles, man. That was really my era of growing up. You know, Hotel California, Desperado, cruising down the center of a two-way street. Wonder who was, and I always wonder about this. Who was really in the driver's seat, Rob? You know, that's that was really good stuff. But you know, it's take every day as it's your last day, because our dear friend Cosmos is going through a little bit of family struggles. He unfortunately lost his uncle and his brother all in the same week. Man. So I'm the kind of person, you know, I lost my mom when I was 22. I lost my dad 3.5 years ago. I really only have one living aunt left. That's it. That's it. And I'm one for telling my family I love them every single day.
You've got a great close-knit family.
But
really
you got to,
that.
Rob, you know. And I'm not just doing that now. I've been doing that for years because, you know, do not think it's hard to tell your mom that you love her. Do not think it's hard to tell your dad you love him. Even though you might not always see eye to eye, they're the people that brought you in this world. Your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your friends. Tell them you love them, because if you don't want to regret that day where you didn't get that last word in. So count every day as it's your last day. We're blessed to be on this earth to do what we're supposed to do, and that's to make the most of every single day and giving back. And I and everybody in this office, in the studio today, we're not entitlement people. We go out and work really, really hard for what we do. We earn what we have, and we enjoy the fruits of the labor that we're blessed to have. So which brings me back to my trip in Tallahassee this past week. I spent Wednesday and Thursday in Tallahassee. And guess what we were doing? We're up there trying to protect the rights of our consumers here in the swimming pool industry, making sure they don't pass laws that aren't just for the consumer. Make sure they do their cost analysis impact. So one of my dear friends and customers is President Andy Gardner. He's the president of the Senate. He is one of my customers. He's one of my friends. And we were blessed to be in his parents on Thursday, sat in his chambers with not the majority of my associates. There was 75 of us that went to Tallahassee this year, and there's about 20 of us because his office is very limited. And I actually wanted to bail out of it because I know the President Gardner, and the word came down from our our lobbyist that says if you don't go, he won't see us. So I really made me feel really good.
That's nice.
That he's going to see us because of the relationship I have. And he's a very busy man. They're just getting started in the session. So I tried to sit in the back, and he said, no, you got to sit up front. You run the meeting, which I did, which I have no issue with. But I know him. So, but anyhow, I felt blessed to be able to do that. So we had walked around. We had 77 appointments, and there was about 75 of us, but they're all scheduled throughout the day. Our first meeting, we went with Senator Hayes. So, when you get to go in and sit down with a senator and tell him your thoughts, Senate Bill 530, if you want to search that up, that's the low voltage lighting bill. We unfortunately, a couple years ago down in South Florida, the boy was electrocuted in a pool over light voltage. And it really boiled down to the fact that it wasn't the voltage and the light that actually killed the boy. It was the people that were working in the electrical system that were working on the light that disconnected the bond, wasn't GFCI protected. The boy got in a pool, stray voltage. It wasn't the voltage that killed him, it was the amperage that killed him. So one of the recommendations is to make all pool lights not to exceed 18 volts.
Mm-hmm.
Bad comment. The voltage light in his pool when this happened was 12 volt. So we realized it wasn't the voltage that's going to get you. It's the amperage that's going to get you. You see the thing running around on YouTube where the 4 or 5 kids are standing around and one of them's going to touch the live wire for the cattle fence, the electrical wire for keeping cattle in. Well, if you're they're all holding hands. One guy touches it, the power goes all the way to the other end. Well, that's just voltage. It wasn't the voltage that's going to get you. It's the amperage in the right location is going to stop your heart. But how that works, if I touch your hand and Chris touched my hand and you touch the wire, Chris is going to get zapped. You're going to get the big zap. I'll get the middle zap. He's going to get the least of it. You'll hit the ground. I might go like this, and Chris is going to go, what was that all about? But it's the voltage. So anyhow, we support the bill as it's written. And how it's written is the Florida Building Commission was asked by the Senate last year to form a task force with building officials, electrical contractors, electrical officials, swimming pool contractors, the National Electrical Code people, all the people that are involved with electricity to come together, create the task force. We support their task force, and here's why. If a pool light, whether it's 120 volt, or 12 volt or 24 volt, it doesn't matter the voltage. It matters that it's installed correctly. Is it bonded correctly on high voltage, 120 volt? Is it GFCI protected? That's the second thing. If it's a low voltage light, it doesn't have to be bonded, and there is no GFCI breaker because it's low voltage. So you don't have to worry about it. If it's installed correctly, do not worry about it. So as we're going on about all of our bills, there's a bill in South Florida. There's a motion in South Florida. They do inflatable portable pools down there that are that aren't regulated by the Department of Health. We support the fact that we want the Department of Health to go in and regulate water quality. I love to teach kids to swim. We wish we could all swim, and they're doing a great thing. We just want it regulated. 407-282-4911. Visit us at Orlando Luxury Pools. Like us on Facebook, where amazing things can, will, and do happen in your backyard.
Hey, join the show. You've got to have a question about a pool. If you've got a pool, you don't like the shape of it, you want it renovated, you want LED lighting, whatever it is you want, you can do amazing things in your backyard. 844-220-0965. That's 844-220-0965, or text 21232 21232. We'll be back. We've got the news coming up right here on your news and weather station. News 96.5 WDBO.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom.
And another one we lost this last week.
How perfect.
Wow.
Was that
Was that
nice?
Wonderful song.
Yeah. Sitting in a tin can, 1969. Think about it today, Rob. They're in a space station up there sitting in a tin can.
That's right.
NASA tweeted a week or so ago when David had passed that one of the astronauts up there played the song. He had to obviously he got a guitar in the space station, So that was actually pretty cool, Rob. It wasn't, of course, Bowie singing, but the words are correct. I think the song was ahead of its time by far, because if you really listen to the words, they were, even though they were floating in a tin can before, now they're up there sitting in a tin can.
Yeah.
So some really cool stuff. By being the president of my association, going to Tallahassee, sitting some either state representatives or House representatives or senators. And by the way, Rob, we had some great Mike Miller right here from town. If those who know Mike Miller, spent about 20, 25 minutes with him, and then Scott Plackton at the same time. One's in the House and one's in the Senate. So Antone and Mr. Burton, we spent some time with him. Marlene, we spent time with her. So a lot of great people. But if this is interesting, what does the Florida swimming pools bring to the economy in the state of Florida? Give me a guess, Rob. What do you think the impact in the state is for the revenue generated, the money put back in? I got them all in my head. I had to do this like 15 times on Thursday. So give me, what do you think, Rob? Economic impact.
Each year, I would have no idea. I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe $20 million or something like that.
How about $5.4 billion?
Billion with a B.
$billion impact.
God.
Think about that. $2.3 billion in, I'm going to say the billion because it's big, $1 billion in new construction, $3.1 billion in service and retail. Let's see here. Between what we make and we put back in the economy, $808 million as what we put back as owners back in the economy. This industry employs 66,000 employees. We as the industry generated $9 million in property taxes, $64 million in sales taxes, and unfortunately, and as much as the big boy up in Washington cries, we generate $434 million in federal taxes. So, you know, I'd hate to see what in somebody between the lottery won between the three people they gave up, you know, the same amount of money, $500 million. Too much money they get up north to trickle down to entitlement people and don't put it in programs where they need to be done. So we need to change this year. One side or the other. We need a fence to get righted. We need taxes to come down. We need corporate taxes to bottom to fall out to bring these companies back. And here's, check this out. Florida's unemployment, I sat with the president, is around 4.4%. Now, Chris looked it up. It was still listed at 5, but the new numbers are going to come out. But the underemployment is at 11.5%. So how would you define underemployment, Rob?
I think that there's people out there that, you know, had a great job at something.
Right.
Maybe they were a blue or a white collar, and now they're having to settle for 20 hours a week or 25, mainly because of Obamacare. And they're underemployed because businesses aren't going to hire full-time people anymore.
So think about that. So where does, and I'm not going to get into politics here, but what is the government doing to fix this problem?
Nothing.
Here's what they have to do. You have to fix the trade deficit. You have to come to a flat tax where everybody pays the same amount of tax. There is no favoritism. We all pay our fair share. So if you're in a drug business, you're going to pay tax. If you're spending, so you can't get around it. So let's everybody be on the same playing field. Bring corporate tax down. So one, it doesn't penalize me so bad. If you're a K corporation, you're getting double tax. You're getting taxed on corporate and then get taxed personally. I'm a subchapter S. I still pay tax on money I don't have. I still can't figure that out. I have to pay tax on money that I don't have. And that's just the way the system is. We got to fix the tax code. We have to. I heard on the way back, China has used more concrete in the last 5 years than America used since the turn of the century.
Yeah.
So what are they doing, Rob?
They're building up their infrastructure.
Why? Because they're gearing up for people like us that are going to lay down and buy cheaper products because they have cheaper wages. They have a cheaper product, too. You get exactly what you pay for.
Exactly.
So let's bring corporate back to America. I would like my Hanes briefs made in America. I would like my clothes made in America. Rob, how many American-made tennis shoes can you buy? Yours aren't American-made.
No.
Mine are.
Are they?
Mine are.
Who
These are
makes
Skechers.
Oh, Skechers. Okay.
Okay, made in America. But I like the New Balance tennis shoes. Unless you buy their top-line running shoe, you are not getting New Balance made in America no more. So why can't I have American-made products? Well, the only place that I can guarantee you are going to get an American-made product is Hayward. 100% made in America. My red, white, and blue flag that I fly in front of my house every day and it's properly lit every single day is made in America. It's made, I buy all the Annan flies. and in flags, because I want an American-made product. My car, my 1970 ragtop, is all American. There's not one foreign part on that car.
Wow.
But I can tell you my truck out front, my Ford truck's got a handful of parts and pieces, but at least it was assembled in America. So when I talk about American-made products, put the pride back in America. We have lost our pride.
Oh, yeah.
I am trying to keep, I'm not trying, I do. I keep my American pride right here. When I tell you I bleed red, white, and blue, don't cut me because it'll show red. But I do bleed red, white, and blue. I am a true-blooded American. Why are we supporting countries that don't support us? Why? And I heard each other. We released to Iran $100 billion, and of course, Kerry comes on the air and says, "Well, I think they're probably going to use that." You don't think? You know they're going to. So why are we doing things like that? We have a disgraceful government, in my opinion, up there. That we have 12 or 14 Navy guys that are held at gunpoint. That's a disgrace. And then they had to leave them alone because 2 days later, the United States released $100 billion to them. So we get 4 or 5 return, and they get 7 return. So this is not a good deal. So protect our borders, protect the people, protect our rights. Let's be American, buy American, support American companies. I love it. This is a good year. It's an election year. They're not looking for a turn down in this year, but they're looking for some moderate growth. Why is the market failing? Because Iran's back on the oil market today. Oil prices dropped to $26 the other day. It's back up to $30, $31. The market's trying to grow back. You know, I like cheap gas because it gets a big number. It's a big ticket in my business.
Sure it is.
I don't mind paying $2 a gallon for gas. I saw gas for $1.69 the other day up your neck of the woods. I was up in Mount Dora yesterday. So I don't mind paying my fair share. Keep American people employed. Stop bringing foreign oil in this country.
That's right.
Bring it right here. Build the Keystone Pipeline, because 2 of my friends are in the oil business in Canada. If we don't approve the Keystone Pipeline, guess where it's going to go out? Vancouver. They're going to go all the way across the state. They're going to pump it out instead of Japan, Russia, places like that. So why are we going to do that? Come on, government, get off your heels. Stop sitting on your hands and let's fix the problem. Let's go back to work today. Another problem we have in this industry in the state of Florida is our underemployment. If you want a good job, Rob, everybody would love their kids to go to college, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to college. Spend $100,000. I heard a thing on the other show the other day on a 96.5, one of the talk shows, where a guy was complaining because he can't pay back his student loan. Well, when you're going to go to college, you better get a job to help offset that. You're complaining because it's $160,000 I own, and it's the government's fault. No, it's not. You don't have to go to college to be the smartest people. My dad went to 8th grade, one of the smartest men I ever met. Mathematically wise, he was a genius. He was an absolute genius person. I did graduate high school. Guess what? I am a successful contractor. I did not go to school. I studied what I do. I paid attention to what I do. I stay ahead of the curve by being the president of my association, chairman of the Builder Council, sit on the energy TAC, the plumbing TAC, be on the vetting committees for codes. That's how I stay ahead of it. Am I the world's greatest salesman, the guy that can sell a snake a dinner jacket? The answer is no. I can't. But I do well enough for me. We do multiple millions of dollars in business every year. I didn't go to college. You don't have to go to college. As a matter of fact, most of the guys in the swimming pool industry that do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and $80 million a year in business aren't college educated. They aren't. So you don't have to be a general contractor. You don't have to go to college. Here's the problem. We don't have good workforce. There's no avenue to get into the workforce through school. So the state, in one of our meetings, the state says they have a program called CARP that's administered through the school system. I talked to the House Representative, Mrs. Burton, down in Polk County. It's already active in Polk County. Orange County, it's not active. It's here. So we're gonna generate a task force to go to Orange County. How do we get into schools? If you are looking for an entry-level, good-paying job, TC Water Features, I need labor. I need a good, qualified labor that can walk, talk, chew gum, is responsible for what he does. Come to work every single day. Be on time. I will buy your health insurance, and it might be Obamacare, but at least I can get you insured. When if Republicans go in and repeal it, I'll still insure you. I'll give you a great benefit package. Come to work, every day, work hard, and you could work yourself up. I want you to want my job, Rob. I want you to want my job because I do, of course, I'm the owner. I should make the most amount of money. My wife does, actually, because she is the boss. But bottom line is, construction is a good trade. If you're a good qualified plumber, 5, 8, 10 years down the road, you're making $25, $30 an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Plus benefits.
But where are you going to learn a trade in Florida?
Come to work for me.
Where in the world do you learn a trade?
Well, Rob, how did I learn my trade? How did I learn what I did?
You learned it from within.
I'm a I was a plumber back in the day. I'm the youngest journeyman plumber in the state of Florida in 1979. The youngest. My license number is 000144. Mm-hmm. So I've had my commercial license. I could have gotten my commercial license in 1985, but I had it made. I was subcontracting. Why do I need a license? My background's commercial. So if I can build commercial projects, why can't I do residential? Because commercial is an overbuild for the most part. A little bit more involved, but the processes are the same. So we were sitting with, I'll just pick on Representative Hayes for a second. We're sitting with him. Or Mike Miller as well. We're sitting with them and we're explaining that what we do is, again, you don't have to be college educated, but think about this. Thinking outside the box. When we go to your house and design a pool project, and we're getting ready to build the pool project from a piece of ground in the backyard, and you make a reality out of it. It doesn't come in a box. We're not open the box, assemble it, and then put it together. We're hand sculpting that and bringing that design to reality with the utmost quality in the product. Not production, but quality. And that's what happens at TC Water Features when you hire a family business. There's a lot of great companies out there that are not family businesses. But I love it when people call back and say, your brothers, your tile setters, your pipe fitters, now I can't use plumber, my pipe fitter, my sons, how awesome they are at what they do. And we do it because we love what we do. Rob, you like going to your job every day?
Oh, I love it.
Chris, you love your job every day? You get up and look forward to coming to work? Honestly, you look forward to coming to work every day?
Yep.
I do.
Oh, I love
every single day. I should have worked today, but I didn't. So
no, this is work.
Well,
you're in here doing a radio show.
Well, I know I'm doing radio, but I, you know what? I like this. Today's not all about what I do for a living, and I haven't been really pushing what we do for a living, but because there's so much more to talk about. But I should be marketing. This show should be all about marketing TC Water Features. Well, I like to give back good common sense information. So I went to a job the other day, Rob. Guess where the gas heater is? Under a tree. Look up the tree. It's all dead, decomposed. Oh, my God. Come on. 407-282-4911. Visit us. And I mean visit us at OrlandoLuxuryPools.com. Don't freak out about the pictures. Pools are a luxury item, and that was truly stated at the House of Representatives this weekend or this past week. Like us on Facebook. Amazing things. And if you don't call us, I can't guarantee you that someone's going to give you that amazing things can happen in your backyard. That's what we do.
That's right.
Love it.
By quality, all right? Hey, give us a call. Participate in the show. You got a question about a swimming pool. You got questions about, hey, maybe now you want to add a heater. 844-220-0965. And it's not too late to add a heater. 844-220-0965. Or text us at 21232, 21232. We'll be back. I tell you what, this show is going to get the award for the best bump music in the industry. That's right, Tony Caruso. You got the pools being built. Any cool projects you're working on right now?
Oh my, Rob. Well, let's talk about the one disastrous job I saw this past week.
No.
Serviced by a pretty reputable company. But I got to tell you something, Rob. I bid on this pool 7 years ago to build it. I didn't get it because I was more expensive than the other guy. But I'm going to tell you today, I want to think it was probably $65,000 back in the day. Pool spa, vanishing edge, nice little package on a lake. Sad, real sad. Let's see here. The granite spillway for the negative edge where the water falls in the lower pool. There are 3 8-foot sections. Obviously, it's 24 feet long. All water leaks underneath the whole way. So what's happening is, since they have not poor water chemistry, a very light earth tone tile is all scaled. We got snots growing on the wall by the spa, which is loaded with scale. The gray finish is truly white covered scale. The filter hasn't been serviced. The heater is under a tree, which, if that heater ever throws a spark up, boom, the tree goes. Then when the tree goes, no telling what goes with it. The cell's never been cleaned, so they have a floater in the water. You know what I tell you about floaters now?
Yep.
They keep me employed. They've got piping leaks under the deck. You can see where the deck's all settled. And then the staircase is coming down from the lanai down to the pool deck. 3/4 of an inch settling separation. 3/4 of an inch. Not a grout line. 3/4 of an inch.
Man.
Okay. Another one that I want on. It's on Claremont. Contractor, I've met the multi-licensed inspector out there. I finally got the building official and my engineer out there. $120,000 job. Was finished without finishing all the inspections. They filled the pool up. No safety inspection. No model barrier code inspection. The slide, if you come off the slide in the lowest pool, you will hit the wall. If you don't hit the wall, you hit the floor. It's not deep enough, not long enough. The spa is supposed to be 10 foot, not 6 foot. The staircase doesn't have the 36-inch ingress egress, so it's all built in correctly. $120,000 pool, $70,000 to fix it. $70,000 to fix it.
God.
You have to do your research. Cool projects? Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. I've got one I'm finishing up for a local newscaster right now. We're getting him all wrapped up. He loves it. When I get text messages, from him telling me how happy he is with us, what we're done, the quality work, the great people that do work for us, the professionalism, you love that. I've got 3 new pools to start next week. I started one last week. I'm adding a spa to an existing pool. The spillover is going to appear to be coming out of the spa, but it's an illusion. It's an LED lit waterfall. That's the illusion. So I'm not giving up that hydraulic issue. I added a beach sun shelf, a beach area too, with a periscope bubbler, LED lights, all brand new interior. We're going to shoot that next week. So we got a lot of cool things coming up. I've got one. I've got a pool and a spa where the spa is by the front door. It's a courtyard deal. The guy doesn't want the pool anymore. He wants deck space. So fill the pool in, make it all deck, change the deck, convert the spa to a self-contained. It's got a single drain. I got to beat the spa floor out, put dual drains in it. It's got one of them ugly periscope or standpipe bubblers. You have to screw a pipe in. I'll put a periscope so it retracts for him. I'll make it all self-contained. I've got to fix the blunders. The staircases going down the lower area are crooked. They don't line up with the gate. So if you look at the gate and the step is about 4 inches off on one side and recessed on the other. So going in and fixing all these screw-ups by a guy that I pray that leaves this business. I pray he does, because it's just, you get what you pay for. And again, if you're not scrutinizing what you do, what do you think I'm supposed to do, Rob? Do you know what it's supposed to look like? You hope it looks right. When you take anything anywhere and it's being done by a professional, you rely on that professional to return what you did. What you spent was good money. You get good service, good quality. We build swimming pools. We renovate swimming pools. We do pools, spas, fountains, waterfalls, outdoor summer kitchens, outdoor living areas, outdoor fireplaces. We do outdoor movie theaters. We just designed a project with bocce ball, cornhole, and shuffleboard to go along with the commercial pool. All AstroTurf type setup. This is over on the West Coast. So we got a lot of really cool things going. Look, let's keep the economy going. Hire a professional. Hire TC Water Features. Give us a shot. 407-282-4911. And when you recall that number, you're going to get a warm, friendly voice that's going to answer your questions. My office is fully qualified to answer all of your questions. If you want to just get some general information. If not, go to our website, OrlandoLuxuryPools.com. Watch us on Facebook. That's at TC Water Feature. A lot of great posts, a lot of cool stuff. I get inducted in the Hall of Fame in 3 weeks. We'll talk about that more next week. 407-282-4911. We're amazing.